So for this problem set, you'll notice that we're going to have to use bedmiss on pretty much every single problem. Now, for this first one, we have -5 minus 4 minus -3 times 2. So what you want to identify is the fact that this part here needs to be multiplied first. So what we're going to get is -5 bracket 4 minus in brackets -6. So I tend to keep my results in a bracket and then apply the minus sign afterwards. So we're going to get -5 4 minus 6, which ends up being -5 and then minus 2, which is -5 times -2 is positive 10. Moving on, we have this next problem here. So what I want you to consider is, imagine that the entire top of the fraction is in a bracket and the entire bottom of the fraction is a bracket. And we're going to go and solve the top first, which is everything here, and then solve all the information on the bottom. Now, we have -4 minus 6, and then this part here is +3 times -7, which gives us -21. So we're going to get the following as our result on the top. 4 minus 6 minus 21 minus, well, I'm going to write 19 divided by 2 as 19 over 2 because we understand as a quotient. Now, as for the bottom portion of this, we have -2 raised to the 3. So I want you to imagine that 2 is raised to the 3, and then we apply -1, so we end up with -8. So now, when we simplify the top, we're going to end up with -23 minus 19 over 2 divided by -8. In order to work with this fraction, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to take -23 and change it into something over 2. So we're going to have, we have -46 over 2 minus 19 over 2 divided by -8. Now, I'm going to continue the rest of this solution over here. So now, -46 minus 19 is going to be -65 over 2 divided by 8, -8. So now what we're going to do is we're going to write -65 over 2 divided by 8, -8, and that turns out to be -65 over 2 times 1 over -8, and that simplifies to positive 65 over 16. Now we'll continue with question number 3. Question number 3, we have to go and change all our mixed fractions into improper fractions. So 4 times 1 plus 3 is 7 over 4. Minus 3 times 6. 3 times 6 is 18, plus 5 is going to be positive -23 over 6. Now, we can change that to 7 over 4 minus 23 over 6. And now what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that we have a common denominator of 12. So times the top and bottom of this by 3, and on the top and bottom of this one by 2. So now we get 21 over 12 minus 46 over 12, which gives us -25 over 12. And you can leave it in this form. Okay, quiet for a second. So now we get negative 15 plus 14, which gives us negative 1. Now, when you go and simplify this expression, what you need to do is you need to simplify the left first, then simplify the right. So for this next problem, what we need to find is the lowest common multiple and multiply across every single fraction. For this problem, we need to apply the distributive property into each bracket. The first bracket's easy. So we'll have to pull in minus 2y into the second bracket to get the final answer. And now we sub x is negative 2 and y equals 2. we have one error. Two y cubed should really be 4y squared, y cubed. So what you need to do now is you need to simplify each of these complexes. Leave the minus sign that's sitting in front. Put all your results in brackets. And now simplify. So you're going to get negative 24 minus 8 plus 24 minus 32. Adding those all up, you get minus 40 as your final answer.